What's up everyone? In this video, I want to help you manifest Eckhart Tolle Style, which has the potential to shift the way you go about manifestation and really your paradigm when it comes to the law of attraction. You know, the place it's coming from, the desire that you have to shift things in the external world. There's a higher paradigm that when you use manifestation, the law of attraction from this higher place, it changes everything. So in this video, that's what I'm excited to share with you guys, because the truth is that many people, when they utilize the law of attraction and things like this, it's coming from what we could call a low level paradigm where it's like, I would feel so much better if I could just shift my external reality. You know, if I got that Ferrari, if I had the social status, if I could do all of these things. But there's a few problems with that when you go about manifestation in that way, it actually kind of keeps you trapped in your current reality because, you know, you're resisting your current reality. You're like, it would be better over there. But what I'm going to share with you in this video is Eckhart Tolle Style manifestation. And if you don't know who Eckhart Tolle is, he is probably one of the best spiritual teachers on the planet right now, and he is operating at an extremely high level paradigm in that he's one with the present moment. He doesn't necessarily want anything to change in his life, and therefore he actually has more flexibility to change things. I know that's a bit of a paradox, but we're gonna get into it in this video. Now, Eckhart Tolle, he's not really associated with manifestation, as some of you guys probably know who know him, but the way in his teachings, when you understand it at a deep level, is going to really help you with the whole game of reality creation and changing your reality. And so in this video, I've outlined 3 steps that are going to help us manifest like Eckhart Tolle rather than the desperation that many people feel when it comes to changing your reality. So with that being said though, if you're new to this channel, welcome. My name is Austin and I help people shift their vibration to infinity and beyond. So let's get into it, guys. Before we get into the Eckhart Tolle manifestation, which is all about detachment, being one with the moment, and really not needing things to change, let's just outline step number 1, which is important before we get into the other Eckhart Tolle steps, okay? So the first thing when it comes to manifestation is, you know, in order to line up with something in your external life, you have to become a vibrational match to it. But what most people do is they really want something, which is telling the universe that I do not have it. And what Jesus said is that when you want something, when you pray, you must pray as if you already have received it. You must have gratitude for it before it actually shows up in your life, and then you will receive it. Because when we say, I really, really want this, the universe is going to neutrally reflect the fact that, yeah, you really, really want it means you really, really don't have it. But the problem is that people run into the problem of they say, okay, I conceptually understand that I need to move to the state of having it, like feeling on the inside like I have the thing that I want. But the problem is I don't have it, and I still really want it. So what people do is, you know, they do visualization or they do affirmations, but yet they find that these are still not working, but it's because of the paradigm that they're coming from when they're using visualization and affirmation. So what's helped me when it comes to manifestation Eckhart Tolle style, the first thing that you got to do is get present to the moment. This is about a shift in your level of consciousness from making the present moment a means to an end to actually enjoying your life right now and not needing anything to actually change. Because the truth is we all have this smoke screen, which is really corrupting our life experience, which is our egoic structure. It's the thoughts that we're constantly thinking. We're constantly projecting ourselves into some unknown future or recollecting the past, which are all these thoughts. But what Eckhart Tolle teaches is all about presence, and that really, who are you beyond the mind and the ego? When you are in this space right now, hearing this video, there is a level of consciousness that is available to you at all times that helps you shift beyond all things that are needy, wanting, anything to do with manifestation. But it has to do with manifestation, and I'll get into it. But the quality of your consciousness determines how you're actually able to manifest. And when Eckhart Tolle, if you read the book The Power of Now, had his spiritual awakening, and myself included, I can attest to this, when you kind of unplug the ego and all you want is the present moment, you literally enter a new dimension. And we all have this available to us. And when we enter this dimension of no thought, of just being, you find that there's so much joy in you now. You realize that nothing on the outside can complete you, because your consciousness is totally whole and complete. You feel the bliss of life. You actually start to live life rather than these concepts of the self-worth. I need this manifestation to make me feel whole. I need my life to be a certain way for my ego to feel good. When you can be present to the moment, all of that goes out the window, and instantly you know that you're good either way. No matter what happens in your life. This is what happened to me. I realized that no matter what happens in my life, I had a few Satori moments, which are moments of enlightenment, you could say, a spontaneous awakening when you remove this smoke screen of your thoughts and your ego, and you're just like, you don't actually really want anything, because you realize nothing can be added unto you. You're already 100% whole and complete. Now, this is the most powerful paradigm that you can manifest from. When you get to this state of non-neediness, of non-attachment, and you're good with your life, no matter what it looks like on the outside. If you don't like your life where you are right now, realize the only reason you're feeling negative emotion is because of the story that you're telling yourself about your life circumstance. It has nothing to do with your life circumstance. Even if you were homeless on the street, if you were 100% present to the moment, it would be pure bliss. It would be so enjoyable. It's just that all of us are kind of brought into this culturescape which keeps us from doing that, right? It's like the media, it's like constant stimulation. But the truth is that there's so much joy to be found in the present moment. And if you want to know more about how do I actually get present? I understand what you're saying, but maybe you're not experiencing it. I'll put a video above me right now, which is all about how to be present to the moment, connecting to the inner body, moving into your body rather than your thoughts. But the reason why I'm saying this is because this is the foundation that will help you manifest what you want. Because all of a sudden, you have a purity about your consciousness, which is more clear, it's more pure, and also you don't need anything. Buddha has said that the root of all suffering is desire and attachment. And when you have a desire and attachment, many times you're in resistance to your current state of being. So what you must do is realize who you are beyond the mind and the ego. I'll leave it as a question for you. Who are you beyond that? You're pure consciousness. And pure consciousness has the ability to create reality by thought alone. When you manifest from this high-level paradigm, there's been Indian yogis who have been known to materialize objects out of thin air. And why are they able to do that? It's because their clarity of intent is so clear. It is so pure that they're able to do things that normally within the normal realm of consciousness of desire, wanting, all these lower emotions, we're not able to do. Because it's almost like when you're present to the moment, you have less thoughts. And the less thoughts you have, the more powerful the thoughts are that you do have. So when you can get to this state, that's what's going to change anything. But to really manifest Eckhart Tolle style, you can't necessarily just sit around and not work with the law of attraction consciously. Now you can, before we get into this last part, which is important, the visualization, Eckhart Tolle style, understand that reality is a reflection. And when you're in the present moment, you're so neutral about anything. You're actually more positive than you are negative. And reality is a reflection of your state of consciousness. There is no outside world. And when you're so in the present moment, and you remove the smoke screen of your thoughts and your emotions and this ego, reality starts to reflect your new state of being to where circumstances oftentimes do change on their own. It's oftentimes you don't have to do anything. I've experienced this when you're just so detached to everything, money just starts coming to you. I mean, it's true, but it takes a lot of discipline to get to that state, to really work on yourself to be that present all the time. Because let's be real, the monkey mind of detachment, comparing yourself to other people, all this ego stuff is very easily, infiltrates the mind pretty easily, and we can fall into these patterns. So, but the present moment is the secret. It is the ground zero that you have to do this from. But now, the most powerful thing to manifest Eckhart Tolle style is to work with the law of attraction while you're in the present moment. Because here's the mistake that most people make, and I've made along my journey as well, is that we visualize because we're trying to escape the present moment. We do affirmations because we're trying to escape ourselves. We don't love ourselves right now. We feel like we need to get something else. And because of that, our intention is murky. It doesn't work as well as when you're already 100% whole and complete, because now life is a dream. When you raise your level of consciousness by being simply present to the moment, all it takes is a simple practice of meditation. You're going to start to get downloads from the universe about how this all actually works, because I'm not telling you anything new. I'm only reminding you of the things that you already know for yourself, but you'll start to get things that you can't even necessarily articulate in words. It's just a knowing, but more than anything, life becomes dreamlike. You become lucid, like a lucid dream, but life becomes that because you realize what this is, that it is just a game that we're all playing. And when you are loose in that way, you're present to the moment. The most important thing is your state of consciousness now, you realize that, then this all starts to become flexible. But now, let me get into how to visualize properly, because like I was saying, we get to this state where we try to visualize to get somewhere else. But here's what you want to do. You want to visualize, this is what's helped me so much, for its own sake. Because the body and our brain and our, what we call the law of attraction, manifestation, it doesn't distinguish between an event that happens externally, which is changing our point of attraction to then attract new things in our life, or an inner state that we organically produce via visualization or affirmation. So when you close your eyes and you visualize yourself in an amazing state of being, in your perfect dream life, and you're feeling the emotions of it, because you can do that, because you're not trying to escape the moment, you're kind of just playing with it, and you're saying, of course, well, I can feel that, all of this stuff exists in me. I realize that all the stuff I'm visualizing of me in the nice house, the nice car, none of that compares to who I really am as pure consciousness, which is unconditional love, you could say. It's a place of unconditional acceptance. When that is no longer being juxtaposed with anything, you're not trying to get something to satisfy you, all of a sudden, you amplify that signal that you're giving off to the universe like times 1,000. To where now because you're fully in the moment already, because you've learned to be present, Eckhart Tolle style, now when you do a visualization, you are truly living in that visualization because you're doing it for its own sake. You're feeling the emotions of you in the nice car, of you taking care of your family, and it is as if it is happening right now because you have no incentive, you have no desperation to escape what is happening in your life. You're like, I'm good if this happens, I'm good if this doesn't happen, but I'm just doing visualization for its own freaking sake because the brain, the body, the universe doesn't know what's happening and what's not happening. This is why people continue to recreate negative events in their life, that some traumatic thing happens to them. They keep holding on to the memory. Let's say like a a man cheats on his wife and the wife is emotionally distraught about it. Because she's holding on to this, she's going to continue to attract people in her life that are going to be the same man that she's holding on to because she's resonating with that frequency. So it could be years later that this happens, but she's holding on to the frequency. And so it's as if the present moment is all that there exists, all that there is. You need to understand that the present moment is all that there is. So the universe doesn't take into account whether it's real or fake. All that matters is your quality of consciousness. So in the same way, instead of playing these negative things on repeat, if you can play the ideal life of visualizing on repeat positively, you're going to get a whole new state because you're coming at it from a new paradigm. So with that, let me give you a few keys for visualization of like how to do this properly. The first one, obviously, like I've been making the whole point, is to do it for its own sake. Not because you think it's going to get you anywhere, because the experience is all that matters. If I actually have a girl over right now that I find extremely attractive, let's say I'm trying to manifest a new girlfriend, and she's like sitting on my arm, she's like, it's an amazing emotional experience for me. There's no difference between that and me in my mind doing that and feeling the exact same way. I'm smelling all these things. It's happening now. So with visualization, another key is to add sensory things into your visualization. Instead of just seeing it, add taste, smells, all these things. Enhance the color that you're seeing it. But really, what I want to emphasize with this, that's going to help you a lot, is to actually visualize from the first person state of consciousness rather than the third person. So when we're doing this for its own sake, what you want to do is visualize as if you're seeing out through your own eyes, like you're a virtual character in the movie, just like you're seeing the quality of your consciousness now. Rather than being like a fly on the wall and looking at something in third person, you want to be the virtual character because that's more closely related to the experience of actually having it in physical reality, which is going to stream that event. Your emotions that you're feeling while you're visualizing is going to pull it to you, because the feeling state will create the external circumstance that you're doing in your visualization. There, like I said, there is no difference between these things. So when it comes to visualizing, you want to make sure you do that for its own sake. And then also, obviously, in the first person, add sensory experiences to it. But I really believe that this is the secret when it comes to manifestation, is that you gotta just raise your vibration. Realize that the lies that we've been told from consumer society are complete BS. Of course, the whole video is to manifest. We want these things, but we don't need these things. That's the point you want to get to. We don't need these things. And when you get to a point where your quality of your consciousness is so pure, you're so interested in the present moment, things are going to reflect differently in your physical reality without you even consciously working with the law of attraction. That's how powerful presence is. So if this is something that you're struggling with, of being present to the moment, letting go of the thoughts that are constantly on repeat, something I suggest is reading The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle. Because this is something that I initially read that helped me spark my own spiritual awakening, where I was saying I had those Satori moments where I was literally in pure bliss. I had no thoughts going on at all. And because of that, I didn't want anything. So realize, the rich will tell you, nothing in this world is going to satisfy you deep down. And if you think that these things are going to satisfy you, you're just kind of fooling yourself. But you must, something I'm learning, is you must get those things to really realize that it's not going to satisfy you. And that's something that I'm in the process of doing, of becoming more abundant in all physical ways. But yet I feel blessed to have had such a profound experience thanks to Eckhart Tolle earlier in my journey, maybe like 4 years ago, where I was so blissed out in the present moment. That feeling, when you experience that, it's nothing that I can say that's going to trigger it. It must be, the truth cannot be told, it must be realized. But when I experienced that, I instantly knew this is going to be the best, this is the best thing ever. Anything else that we want can be created within us now. Nothing can enhance you. That's why they say the kingdom of heaven lies within us. It is a state of consciousness. And as more people begin to raise their vibration by being present to the moment, we are bound to see global uprisings of peace. This has been proven with, people have been doing mass meditations with this whole coronavirus that's going on. People have got together, many big influencers have said, we're all going to meditate at the same time. When a million people did this at the same time, they all were present to the moment together, the Schumann resonance of the earth raised crazily. The vibration of the planet raised so much. And that's what's happening right now, is that people are bound to be present. And when we do, this is how we create the new earth, within and without. Because of course, that's all it is. It's a direct mirror of both these things. So, in order to manifest what you want, you must do it Eckhart Tolle style. You actually must. You can do it whatever way you want. I'm just sharing what's helped me move from a certain place in my life to where I'm at now. It was all about not actually needing it to change. When you don't need it to change, you'll start to live life for its own sake. You will know who you really are. Most people walking around the planet don't know who the hell they even are. They think that their bank account is them. They think that their memories are them. They think that their physical body is them. They think that their country is them. They think all these things are them. But none of these things are who you really are. You are an infinite being of pure consciousness, your soul, having one experience in this body. And that is who you are. You are unmanifested energy, which is synonymous with the present moment. So, the present moment is all that there ever is. It exists for all of us to tap into at any time that we want. And nothing is holding you back but you.